Yep. Hello.
Are you doing well?
I think so.
I apologize for not being able to do this sooner because I understand the you've got difficulty getting light in the area that you're at.
That's correct.
So I apologies I couldn't do this any sooner, but hopefully tonight we can get some resolution. So just straight off the bat, Stephen, um, so I've told this to Nick. I don't want to hear about any other circumstances. The only circumstances we want to hear about and the public want to hear about is the 28-hour period that you were with Nick. And we want you to tell your side first.
Okay. Only the 24 hours.
I think it was 28 hours that you were with Nick. He has told his
Okay.
side. He has told his side already, but we want to hear your side from the start to the middle to the end. What happened from the moment he arrived at um your house?
Okay. For starters, it's not my house. It's a
Okay.
house that I'm minding. I'm minding a family of dogs there. They belong to the house and people that own the house. For starters. Um, from the moment Nick arrived, I got and we unpacked the van, and he paid the driver the second half of the agreed uh, price for collecting Nick from Orkiva to bring him here. So Nick paid that. We unloaded the van. I went. I asked Nick. I said, "I've got no money. I need to go and see man down to the van, down to the village. Make sure he gets off this track, off this mountain safely." I said, "So, yeah, I haven't got any money. I want to have a drink in the village or get some food because there's no food here." And he gave me 20 euros. I went down to the village with the man in the van. Okay, I assured him he was going to get to the village safe, and I was going to see him safe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I left Nick at home with the dogs, all of the dogs. I don't think I even took my Captain Jack with me. I left my phone at home accidentally, and I walked down to the village. Or no, sorry, I got a lift with the man in the van to the village. I spent that 20 euros buying the man a drink and saying thank you for assisting. I'm sorry that you experienced what we experienced along the way. Happy days. Don't judge him and me as one. And happy days. I left. I think I had about maybe 5 euros left. So I climbed back up the mountain, recognizing then I don't have my phone. When I get to the house, then I found my phone. I went and visited Nick. Okay, Nick insisted that I tried his RSO weed extract. Okay, he
Was he
used
in
his
your this
alcohol.
time? Was he in your house at this time?
He was in my camper van. He was in my Mercedes. He was in my bus. Yeah.
Okay.
He sat in on my bed. It was dark because I've got no lighting there. It was dark. All of his things were in boxes, taking up all the furniture that I've got there, and I've got a driver's seat, and I've got four coach seats. All of his things was boxed up and blocking any sitting space or any comfort. And so I tried smoking the joint that he gave me, and it was a horrible taste to begin with, and I started complaining about it straight away. It was a horrible experience. I got a headache. I went down to the house. I collected something that I had there to smoke, and I came back up to Nick. We had a conversation for about 2 hours, okay? And then I was getting tired, and like I wanted to go to my bed. Nick was in my bed. He was on my blankets. I didn't feel that after the conversation it would be right to disturb anything more than it already was. So I went back down to the house and I stayed there for the night without any blankets, without any bedding and stuff. The next morning, I wake up because I was waking up then about 4 or 5 in the morning. I'd go and exercise the dogs. I'd do the things that I can do in the freshness, and like 'cause it was at the end of the summer, so it was still hot and stuff. And I do the things that I can do in the freshness. Take the dogs for a walk, water them, feed them. I come back to the house and make a nice pot of coffee. I come up to the bus with my cup of coffee and a couple of smokes, like sit there and introduce Nick to the mountain. He wasn't interested. This was about 11 o'clock in the morning, yeah? Bearing in mind that the sun is now rising, it's heating everything up, yeah? And there's things to be, that I consider things that are more important, like going getting shopping and things like this. The man was still in bed. The man was still in bed, sweating out my blankets. Okay, for starters. I enter the bus and I see this. First off, I called. I said, "Hello, Nick. Are you there? Are you there, Nick?" And I came into the bus with my cup of coffee and my smokes. And I sat there and I said, "Nick, do you want a cup of coffee?" I says, "There's coffee down in the house. Have you got a cup?" He didn't have a cup, so he didn't get a cup of coffee. So with then the debate, we started discussing where the travel had gone wrong, the things that had already gone wrong from that point. I asked him to translate a text message, and I asked him, "Did you translate that text message? Because that text message is I'm supposed to be booked in with the vet." With the rent money that that you said you were going to pay me, and the things that you said you were going to pay me for, I says I've already made appointments, and I'm supposed to be walking to the vets this time of day. You're already delaying me because you're already controlling and manipulating things. And like one thing led to another. And you know what? He actually fucking screamed at me like I seen on Lucifer's show the other day. "I don't give a fucking shit about no fucking text that you sent me." I mean, like, whoa, Jeepers Christ, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm trying to be reasonable. I've just given up everything for this man. I've told the people of the house if he's not allowed to come here, I'm. So, anyways, back to that day. We're having a discussion. It's getting heated. I'm asking him to open the back door. It's getting more heated. I says, "If you don't open the back door, I've asked him about 4 or 5 times. If you don't open that back door, I have to force that back door open. I says, "It's hot in here. It's sweaty in here. All I can do is smell you. There's no comfort here. You've taken over my space. You won't even let me get my fucking blankets. I've slept without blah, blah, blah," repeating. And he just really didn't give a fuck. Yeah. So I said, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I went and collected my phone. I put my phone on the wood burner and I said, "Look, you see you're on camera now. Look, you see I'm on camera now. Doesn't this look a bit like your YouTube and the fucking WhatsApp and the messenger calls that we've been having? Doesn't this look a bit like, like that professional, you're in a TV screen and I'm in a TV screen, but yet we're on the same screen." Next thing you know, he goes all professional and starts performing, and well, Stephen, for me, like, he just started getting more and more creepy, a little bit more creepy. With that, then, like after time, I've said, "That's it. You've not opened me fucking door. You're trying to fucking throw me blankets onto. You've not opened me door. You're trying to throw my blankets and pillow onto the floor. I says, "You're absolutely disrespectful. Blah blah blah." I says, "I'm opening that fucking back door." I open the back door. He starts kicking me. So I give him a little bit of fucking slap. So then I'm trying to push him out or drag him out of my bus. And yeah, with that, then time goes on. I bring him over to the rooftop of the garage, and I says, "Look, this is the things that you're missing out on. Yeah."
Stephen, can I just jump in there? So just to clarify, he was you're saying he was physically violent to you first?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Okay.
And psychologically intimidating with his gestures and his movements and his extreme bravadoism in voice, extreme insulting. He'd made insults about a couple of things, and like he was being extremely rude and disrespectful. Like understanding. I've been in communication with that man for nearly 2 years, but nearly 1 year really intensely, especially since I've been living here. We're in communications all day, every fucking day, all of a sudden, then we're there sat on the garage roof looking in the views. I'm trying to point out things, and he's not even looking. He's not even interested. So then I says to him, "Look, Nick, yeah, you told me that as soon as you come here, yeah, you're going to give me €600 so I can be secure and comfortable and do what I need to do." I says, "You've not done that." I says, "So let's go down to the bank. We failed going to the shops. We failed going to the banks when we were traveling here with that big van. We came here with nothing in that van, quite literally. And we came with no fucking tools for the project that I've got in mind." So anyways, with this end, we gather ourselves and we walk down to the village. Yes, it was a little bit of bantering and, like, "Why are you walking so slow behind me? Like, fucking, can't you speed up a little bit? Like, I'm walking really slow and you're walking slower." I mean, like, like, what the fuck's going on? We get down to the village as we get down to, or as we're getting down to the village, I'm describing everything, and we're relaxing, and we're starting to speak nicely to each other. And he's really, really started to loosen up and remind me of what I seen of him in the communications for the last fucking year and a half, 2 years. So with this, then what goes on then? We gets to the village. I'm showing him the beach and the nice walkways, and pointing things out, and everything's all nice. I point out the shops. I point out the Moroccan shop. I point out where the bank is, And all of a sudden, he goes off to the bank, which is up the side street. I go off and I sit on the wall of the beach. I don't even see the cash point where he's gone to, but I know where it is. I'm only like about 10, 15 meters away on like you got a wall, a pavement, the road, which is a 2-lane, a parking space, and then the pavement. And he was in there on the corner at the cash point. So when he came over to me, he gave me a bundle of cash, and I started counting it. And I said, I think I remember it saying, is like that's only half of it. And he's saying, oh yes, 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 yes. And he reaches straight away into his other into another pocket and pulls out his other monies. By the way, sorry, I forgot something. When I was talking about the vets and the vet's appointment, and I mentioned having the money to go and do, he started throwing his bank card at me and telling me go to the cash point and get the fucking money out. And he was really fucking horrible and spiteful in the way he was doing it. And I did, no, 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 no. I hear about people getting into trouble for doing things like that. I'm not going to get into things like that. Yeah, I'm not. No, 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 no. Screw you. You can walk down to the bank and get the money yourself and know what effort I put in. And so, anyways, when we were at the cash point and he gives me the cash and I've counted it and there's only like half there or something. Anyway, something was missing. And he reaches and he gives me the other. And I sees it and I makes it all together. And I says, right, now I'm going to eat. I haven't eaten for 2 fucking days now. I've been waiting for you. Like yesterday, we were waiting for you. We went past all the restaurants and shops today. We've been up in the mountain chatting bullshit and not eat. I says, I need to go and eat. He says, I need to go and eat as well. I didn't eat yesterday either. So I said, and this is why you're going fucking crazy, because you're not eating. You're eating Valium tablets. You're smoking this stupid freaking oil made out of leaf and alcohol. I said, it's not even made with flour. You're smoking toxic shit, man, And anyways, I says, I'm going to eat. I says, this nice restaurant. I've had a burger and stuff in there before. It's less than a tenner. And he starts chirping up and yeah, I'm coming with you, like if that's okay. I says, I don't give a shit, I need to eat. I'm going to eat. While I'm eating, he says, sorry, when I ordered, he wants the same as me. He said, order for me exactly what you're having. So I ordered a Tinto Verano and a burger with chips, like the complete burger and chips. So I get that. He gets his. As soon as he takes a swig of his drink, he's spitting it out, yeah, because it's got alcohol content. I said, but, like, you're living in Spain, yeah, Tinto Verano. Like, you don't know what Tinto Verano is. I mean, like, in all fairness now, stupid fucker. So he says, I don't want to drink this. He says, you're trying to spike me or something stupid. He gives me this fucking, I says, I'll drink it. Don't let it go to waste. And happy days. I'm eating my food. He scoffs his food back and he turned on me straight away. As soon as his plate was cleaned, I was still eating. I've got no teeth in my mouth. I can't eat as fast as these people. So anyways, I'm there fucking eating away. And I says, he starts screaming some abuse at me. And I'm looking at him like, fucking, what a disrespectful fucker, Like, I'm in a restaurant. He's joining me. And now he's going psycho on me. We're like, what the fuck going wrong here? And he says, I'm going up to the mountain, collecting my things, and I'm moving on. I says, do what you fucking want. I'm eating. I don't give a shit. So he left. I paid for my food. I think I paid for his food as well. He left. He came up the mountain, or so he said. A few hours later, I was still down in the village because I didn't want to come up to the house. I was a little bit intimidated, and I didn't really want another confrontation with him after he's gone freaking psycho for me. And, like, no, I'm not interested. So anyways, that evening then, after he's walked up here, he's walked back down. As he's walking back down, I see him with a Moroccan boy. As he gets to the village beach, I sees him with a Moroccan boy. And this Moroccan boy walks him straight to this cabin. Is used for the alcoholics and the tramps for dossing for the night. and this Moroccan boy puts him in there. And so, anyways, after this Moroccan boy, I don't like him. Yeah, he's a tramp. He's a beggar. He's a thief. He's an alcoholic, and he's a fucking loud nuisance. He's a pain in the arse. So, anyways, when I seen him disappear, I kindly went over to Nick and said, Nick, where you are? I know where you are, and you might get robbed sitting here, sleeping here tonight. I says, that man is a bad man, and if that man's put you here, chances are you're going to get robbed. So just have your wits about you. Be cool. I says, we'll meet up in the morning. And he said, oh, yes, thank you, Stephen. I've collected the things that I wanted. I've got the things that I want. And I'm moving on. I thank you very much. You're very wise and you're a very gentle person. Even with your psycho talk, you're very gentle with me. And I thank you very much, Stephen. He says, hopefully we'll see each other tomorrow morning. He says, I can't say because I don't know if I'll sleep or if I stay awake. So with that, then I came up home and I rushed back down in the morning. At that point, when I get to the shelter where he was staying, I phoned him because he wasn't there. And he said his next door neighbor, his landlord, came over to this village with his van and collected Nick. And they've eaten, they've gone to a restaurant or they've got food and they've eaten. So then we wished each other good luck and happy days. Thank you. Like, sorry. Like all the gentleman sort of things that could be exchanged, that was all exchanged. As I get up to the house and I'm sorting out the things because I know it says food and it's all in my fucking bus and like it's an invitation for the rats to rob me. It's an invitation to the mice. It's no. I start clearing out and like first off I just move it all to the house. Then after about a day or two, I start identifying what's there, and I start asking Nick, like, what's here, like, what's this, what's that, what's the password for your computer? Because he's given everything to me, okay. So as I'm asking things, he's starting to go psycho on me in the messages. He started saying, you're calling my shit toys, yeah, and I saying, okay, well, your shit is toys in my opinion. There's no value to me. I don't want it. I don't have any use for it. Like, what's what? What do I do with it? It's all yours, Stephen. Respect it. Do what you want with it. So I started to. And then I started recognizing that people were picking out that I was wearing his t-shirt and bullying me because I was recycling quality secondhand clothes that were left behind for me to make use of. Everything that he left behind was for me to make use of in his messages. And then weeks later, I get a message that he's going to the Guardia or something. Now, I automatically thought that he was going to the Guardia about the neighbor that he had a fight with, the female neighbor that lives next to him, a Belgian woman called Lola or Lula or something like that. And he had a fight with her the day that he left here and he returned back to his apartment in Orkiva above
Was
Beneficia.
she? That was a female he had a fight with,
Yes, yes. I've got
and was
text messages to prove it. And the woman, she's made statements against him, and he's made statements against her for continuous fucking nuisance behavior between them. Is an
Can I
ugly.
ask
Is
you
it,
a question, Steve? Can I just
yeah.
sorry to butt in? I'm sorry to butt in, and you there. I know you're coming to the end of that story, but see the extent of the violence between you and Nick. And be honest, it doesn't matter. Listen, it's fine. Friends fall out all the time. But what was the extent of the violence that Nick put upon you, and the extent of the violence that you put upon Nick?
He was kicking out at me. I'm
Mm,
not sure, like if he was kicking out, punching out, but he was definitely like fucking kicking out at me and pushing me away when I was trying to reach through the little portal onto my
mm,
mattress and reach
mm,
to the back door. Yeah, the lever is at the top of the door.
mm,
On I think the right hand or the left hand side, and there's a little bit of a wooden shelf just above that,
mm.
where I got two spotlights, and yeah, and yeah. So for me, it was kind of like I gave him a backlash from, like if I'm facing forward and somebody's behind me, or I'm doing or I'm doing a fucking paddle, if I'm sat in a boat, trying to move with my hands, it was that sort of
Well,
movement
can
that
I
I,
can I can I show you something that Nick sent me? And obviously, you always have the right, you always have the right to reply to this here. But this is something that he wanted to show the viewers. He wanted me to show you this also. So if you wouldn't mind me showing something to the screen, I will share this to the screen. So I don't know if you can see that. So that's a picture that Nick sent me, to say that that
Wow.
was, he had a detached retina from the punch. Was is that correct, or is that false?
No, I definitely didn't punch him. Was that from the woman, his neighbor Lola?
No,
For me,
Nick's saying that this picture here is directly from the violence that you put upon him.
but I find that very hard to imagine because I don't remember lashing out like that.
Okay, so that's okay. You've got that right to say that, Stephen. As long as you know that. Listen, we're not here to be judge, jury, and say you done this. We're only here to hear your side, and you've articulated that. Is there anything else in that story you would like to talk about?
Many things,
Okay.
many.
Well, is that the whole 28-hour period that you had with Nick?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Apart from when we picked him up, the story continues before that.
Well, listen, we don't really want to hear about before and after. It's just a 28-hour period, because people are very confused in this, because what happens is, Nick goes into other stuff and to do with like Madeline McCann, and there's all this here stuff. We don't want to hear about that. What we want to know is the altercation between you and Nick in the 28-hour period, to wrap this up, to see what's went on here. Now, would you be happy with me now to get Nick on to tell his side, or is there anything else you would like to say?
I'll let Nick have a say. I've had a good 10 minutes there, I think.
Oh, okay. Do you think it's a fair 10 minutes? You're okay with everything you said?
For me, I think I've covered the main points of the and I've explained in fair detail
Okay.
what I remember.
Okay. And then just to let you know, Stephen, because I wasn't speaking to you beforehand, Nick's going to have his say, and then afterwards, whenever both of you are on the screen, you can ask each other questions, but I will mute the other person so the other person can answer, because I know there's an issue between you two, having a dialogue between each other. So I will do that for you at the end, and then at the end of that, hopefully there's some resolution. You can maybe have a virtual handshake, and then we could move on. Does that sound like a
Fair
good
play,
idea?
to you. Fair play to you. Thank
Okay.
you for
Okay.
being a fair man.
Okay. No problem, Stephen. Listen, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to mute you now, Stephen, and I'm going to unmute Nick. Okay.
Thank you.
Good man.